Oh.
Pros and cons of fetishes. Cons, some fetishes are extremely destructive. There are some that are dangerous to your health, to your partner's health. There are some that are extremely expensive. Like anything else in life, people can become addicted to their fetishes and put them above all else in their life and kind of ruin their own lives.
One of the downsides, of course, is there is a lot of stigma and shame around it. So if that is something that is affecting you, it can really damage your self-esteem and like how you feel about yourself, and maybe that you can't fully express yourself in the way that you would like to in order to fully be your like authentic sexual self. But also there are some fetishes that are dangerous, unfortunately. They could either put yourself in harm or somebody else in harm physically or emotionally, and you know, it's not your fault if you have a fetish. People can't control it, and so it can just really suck sometimes if that particular fetish is damaging to yourself or others, and it can be really difficult to balance those things.
So one of the drawbacks for having a fetish is that you might not necessarily feel satisfied in your relationships or sexual relationships, especially if it's a fetish, not a kink, because they are two different things. And a fetish is something that's almost fundamental to your pleasure. So if your partner or partners don't really feel the same way about that, you might always be wanting more. And that can be quite hard to deal with in monogamous relationships especially.
People should feel comfortable expressing their sexuality in whatever way gives them pleasure and fulfillment, as long as it's not hurting anyone. When fetishes become things that are harmful, whether it's physically or emotionally, that's when I think maybe some examination should be going on or could be had with a professional who has experience working in an open-minded, non-judgmental way with people with fetishes.
A positive thing about having a fetish or a kink, it expands your definition of sex, of pleasure, and it can allow you to explore lots of different things and, you know, keep an open mind. And so, you know, if having a fetish or a kink is something that you have, it means that potentially you might be more open to if somebody else, a potential sexual partner, might come to you and say that they're into XYZ, and it can allow for deep connections with other people.
Pros of fetishes, regardless of what you're into, you will be able to find a community of like-minded people online, which will help you feel less alone. I know that, you know, there's still a lot of shame about certain fetishes, and I think having that online community that's into the same thing as you is really going to help you process that and your mental health. And another pro is just, it makes sex a lot more exciting, in my opinion.
So having a fetish, even though it might feel like it's embedded in embarrassment and shame, once you break through that barrier and find your fetish community, whether that be online or in real life, it can be one of the most incredible experiences of your life, and you really truly feel like you found yourself. Me, someone who has a fetish, I feel like I haven't really truly been myself until I've been able to own my fetish and really embrace it, and I feel now I can finally be satisfied in my life, sexually and non-sexually.
To hear the whole story, subscribe to Tricky on BBC Sounds.
BBC Sounds. Music, radio, podcasts.